so far, what the government has been doing is good. They have been proactive, most especially Lagos State government, where I am here. Now, I understand yesterday the president allocated some funds to NCDC, even I think about 10 billion naira to Lagos State government and the health sector. And I understand that the CBN was trying to help the SMEs with, I think, about 50 billion naira, and the health sector maybe with 100 million or 100 billion naira or whatever. You see, it's good. It's a good thing because what is going on in the world right now, in the past 70 or 60 years, it has not happened. The reason is something that will happen and it will affect the whole world at the same time. And everybody will be running hector and scatter. In the past 60, 70 years, it has not happened. So what everybody precisely in the world is doing right now, including the world powers, everybody is experimenting. They are experimenting. Either this will work or that will work. Nobody knows. So the issue on the ground, we cannot introduce singular probe strategy. We cannot. We have to implement dual probe strategy. Why I'm saying this is that as much as the government is helping the SMEs, they are helping the health sector, they are helping the states, that's a singular probe strategy. The other strategy that needs to be introduced is by putting direct money into people's pockets. Because the economy we have right now, it doesn't need it to be ginger. It needed to be jolt. And the only way you can jolt this economy is by you putting direct funds into people's pockets. And somebody will ask me and say, how are we going to do that? We don't have institutions. We don't have this, we don't have that. Well, you will always work with what you have. You will always work with what we have. Because right now, like I said, you have people who cannot go by their daily business. They have children at home. They have to feed their families. And they don't have anything to fall back on. Because they're just making income on a daily basis to feed their families. And when something like this happens, they cannot go around. It will really, really hit them hard. So what the government would need to do is, as much as they are helping the SMEs, they are helping the health sector and the states, they need to put something direct into individuals on the street's pocket. And for me, the way I think we should do it is by going through the BVN. I don't know, I think the central bank said we have about 30, 38, thereabouts, BVN registrars in their system. But for me, let's say we have 50 million. You know, I don't know the precise figure, but I think between 30, 38. But let's, let's approximate it like we have 50 million. If we have 50 million, to me, in my own best interest, I would say, why the government cannot give everybody 50,000 naira each? Everybody on the BVN system, let's give them 50,000 naira each. But when I look at it, 50,000 multiplied by 50 million, you are going to come down to like 2.3, 2.5 trillion naira. I mean, we can't do that. We don't have that kind of strong structure. We don't have that kind of strong economy to do that. If you look, like state of California is about 16 trillion, their GDP. And Nigeria, we have our total budget, how much? 8.5 trillion naira, 9 trillion naira, 10 trillion naira, thereabout. So we cannot sustain to give individuals on the street 2.5 trillion naira. But at the same time, we can still do something. What I think we can still do, the government can still, set aside maybe like 1 trillion naira. If we set aside 1 trillion naira, we can still afford 20,000 naira to like 50 million people, depending on what CBN has on their BVN record. We can still do 1 trillion naira, 50,000 naira, multiplied by 50 million, that's 1 trillion naira. We can still afford to do that. Because I know one thing is this. When you put money direct into the pocket of the populace, it will go straight forward into the economy. Because let me tell you, I remember back in the 70s, there's a time, I think between 73, 75, thereabout, people that are old enough will understand back then that there's a pay raise that the civil servants receive at that time. And that pay raise, when they give them the pay raise, they even retroactive that pay raise. They put it into retroactivation. And about 1 or 1.5 years they were giving. And when they gave that money, everybody can feel it. Everybody can feel it. You are selling shoes, you are selling clothes, whatever you do, you feel it in your business. Even though it was given to the civil servants, they will come around and spend the money into the economy. So if anything was given to the poor masses at this time, it's still going to come back into the economy, and it's going to be a direct input before the SMEs begin, whatever I give to the SMEs before it begins to actualize. The one you give to the poor masses direct is the one that will actualize first. So my own advice to the government is everything they are doing now is okay, but they must have to back it up by giving direct money into the pocket of individuals. Because when they give direct money to the pocket of individuals, they will go on the street and buy something. They will go on the street, they will buy food. As I'm speaking to you right now, I can tell you, we have people, children, sitting down in their homes right now that they don't even have nothing to eat. They don't even have nothing to eat. The father is looking for a way at least to give them 1 square meal a day. But because they cannot go about their business, they couldn't do it. So even whatever little you give to them, it will still materialize on our economy. It won't ginger our economy, it will jolt our economy. We need something to jolt our economy right now. If not, everything will come down crashing on us. And I want to applaud the president. People that will criticize him, they will criticize him. People that will applaud him, they will applaud him. But at the same time, he just has to go ahead, do his best. He's trying, he's doing the best that he can do, but he can do more. Whatever he does, my own advice is make sure you put something into the pocket of Nigerians. At least, if nothing at all, maybe even 15,000 naira. If we do 15,000 naira, multiplied by 50 million, we are going to come down for like maybe 750 billion, 800 billion. You can still do that. They can still do that. So my advice to the government is, please put something into the pocket of the individual. Put something into the pocket of the individual. This is my take on that. I was with a friend yesterday and we were discussing this issue. Somebody even said, let them get a bag of rice and, distribute to people, maybe distribute food items to people and everything. First of all, we know our country, we know the Nigerian factor. We need, you see, it is time in our country we begin to do things with our institutions. That is why we need to have institution that is reliable. No matter what government is there, institution will always be the same. Government will come, government will go, but the institutions will stay. For me, right now, the institution I knew we have as of now that is reliable is that BVN with CBN. Now, let me give you an example. Let us assume the government say, okay, take 100 lorry trailers of rice, bag of rice to Lagos and distribute. Out of 100 lorry load of rice, we will thank God if 10 got to Lagos. 90 will be nowhere to be found. Don't ask me where it is. You know and I know. 90 will be nowhere to be found. Not that alone. It wouldn't be verified. We need something that is verified. You see, in our country, we don't have to be doing things the way we have been doing it in the past. We have to change. We have to move. We have to re-strategize. We have to do what civilized nations are doing. For me, as far as I'm concerned, I would say when you bring 10 lorries of bag of rice to Lagos and you begin to distribute and share, who verified the remaining 90 bags, 90 trucks? Nobody verifies. Nobody knows where it is. But the only way you can verify is if you went through an institution. Institution we have on the ground is BVN. Now, if the government says, okay, everybody is giving 15,000 naira, I hear it, everybody will hear it. Now, you will expect what? You will expect alert in your account. So if you don't get alert, you know something is not right. What do? You ask questions. You go to the bank. If you have to, fight it to CBN, you do. That is a way to verify stuff. You see, civilized nations, that is what they do. Everything they do, you can verify because they do it with institution. If you bring lorry load of rice or whatever to Lagos, it cannot be verified who you give and who you don't give. So in order for it to go around, you don't give to any senator, any House of Assembly man or whatever. Everybody is going to do man no man. And we don't need that no more. We need to be verifying everything that we do as a nation. We are old enough. So that is my own take. It wouldn't work that way. It wouldn't work. It has to be verifiable. And the only way to verify it is not by giving it to a senator or a House of Assembly man. No, it will not work. Whatever it is, let it be through CBN. Because that will go ahead, straight ahead, jolt our economy. Everything you do for the SMEs will come by later and will help our economy. So that's my own advice. As a loyalist of the president and the APC, I wish they do something. They should not do without doing something because it's very, very important.